Topic: Roman architecture. By me, Mark Alwenda. Things have changed as they have been in the past. Different traditions, styles of art, groups of people. It's been a long change. Architecture has been one of those things that has changed. Exempli gratia, we have the modern styled houses today, while the ancient Romans had their temples, marketplaces, heck, they had an amphitheater. But let's take a moment to look back on what the Romans were known for: arches and pillars. Now with arches today, there is a form of physics to help us understand arches. That wasn't the case for the Romans. In fact, for them, the Romans had barely any form of physics. However, they did have a pulchral grasp on the idea of it. But first, let's get some basic terms on the board. The arch's vertical composition is called the springer. The distance between the springers is known as the span. The centerpiece that holds the arch together is known as the keystone, and the arch part is the voussoirs. Ancient Romans built their arches using this common method. Where the voussoirs and springers meet, the span between the two ends of the arch must be double the length of the keystone to the line where the voussoirs and springers meet. Let's get on to the pillars. With the pillars, there are quinquest styles of pillars. The first one is the Tuscan order. The Tuscan order was built usually in fortifications and prisons, due to its masculine-like appearance. The second one is the Doric order. The Doric order was built in churches to honor the saints that were part of the militia. The third one is the Ionic order. The Ionic order is sort of similar to the Doric order, but instead, the Ionic order honors the female saints or the female slenderness and grace. If not, it represents the educated and wise. Don't worry, girls, you have a column all to yourselves. The fourth one is the Corinthian order. The Corinthian order is dedicated to the pureness and beauty of women. It is also used to honor the Blessed Virgin Mary in several churches. The fifth one is the composite order. The composite order is a mix of beauty and wisdom. Yet you would think Nervum would be somewhat connected. Minime. Now then, it is wonderful to know how the ancients had these styles. Good thing they had their cranes, right? Again, that's not the case. You see, there was no electricity or even oil back then, so they had a different way of going through things. Let's start with their version of the rock. The lever. This may look familiar to your childhood as the amazing seesaw on the playground. The Romans used this to lift their heavier objects or materials. But how does it work? By moving the fulcrum to the lighter object, it takes much more force to lift up the heavier object. When it's towards the heavier object, it takes less force to lift up the heavy object. Not only did they use a simple method, but they used pulleys. The placement of the pulley is what can make the difference. By placing it in a fixed position, it is known as a single fixed pulley. One can lift up objects easier with this method. However, it isn't the best way. The best way to pull up heavier objects is suspending the pulley device in the air, known as a single movable pulley. Compared to the single fixed pulley, where it only has one connection with the ropes, the single movable pulley has duo connection with the rope, making it less effort to pull up objects. Now let's get back to the idea of cranes. You see, the Romans did have a concept of a crane that was run with manpower, or slaves. The Romans took the pulley system and amplified its strength by connecting it to a hamster wheel-like structure that would be moved by the slaves. The slave would run, which would bring the rope back like a fishing rod, which would pull the pulleys to lift up the heavier object. for a lab rat. So there you have it. The Romans, even today's fancy machinery, they were still able to accomplish tasks that seem almost impossible to us. And all they used was wood to make some levers, pulleys, and cranes. Thanks for watching.